Okay, before proceeding with this lecture, I just want to remind it to you that please recall what we have learned in the previous video and keep that at the back of your mind while we are doing this video. Okay, so first of all, the command which we are going to use to access the pen tool, you can see over here that this is the command, and if I left click and hold, you can see that other features along with that pen tool also appears, and these are its family member. We will look about them in the future. And if you want to keyboard shortcut, it's P, and if I press P, pen tool appears. If you see to the right of the pen tool a small icon, asterisk, it actually means that now you are going to create a new geometry or an object. So now we are good to go. So as I click with the help of left mouse button and creating an anchor point, and while I am creating another anchor point, you already know that a path will be generated between these two anchor points. But you can see that above on the control panel that there are other commands which are related to the pen tool have appeared. Okay, so their functionalities are such as, if you want to convert it to the anchor point into corner or into smooth anchor point, we will see what that means. And also we can do some modification using this control panel. Alright, so let's keep on drawing our geometry. One thing or another feature, like while you are still in pen mode, you can see that to the right of the pen icon, if you hover your mouse to the anchor point, you can see that a minus sign have appeared. This actually means that it wants to remove, if you want to remove that anchor point, and you can see that after clicking the left mouse, it has removed it. And now this anchor point is connected to the other anchor point via this path. Similarly, if I hover my mouse over to some path, you can see that a plus sign have appeared. Okay, and it actually means that whether we want to add an anchor point to the path. So if I click anywhere on the path, now you can see that an anchor point has been generated. As we have seen in the previous video, that for each anchor point there is also an associated handle which actually determines the curvature between these two anchor points. So we will discuss about the handles in the next video. But for the time being, if you want to disable this functionality, because this is an additional functionality while we are in the pen mode, that these add and subtract or remove anchor appears. Actually there is a command from here, but this is an additional feature. But if you want to disable it for the time being, you just need to press the shift button and keep on holding it. Now if you hover your mouse over to the path, you can see that there is no plus sign. Similarly, if I go to the anchor, there is no minus sign. So it has been disabled for the time being. But if I let go of my shift key, now you can see that plus and negative sign have started to appear again. Okay, so while in the pen mode, as we have seen that this direct sign means that we can actually create a new path or a geometry. So now if I hover our mouse to the first point, a circle, which means that we want to close the anchor point or not, sorry, our geometry or not. So now we have closed our loop. So if I go out of this command by pressing the P, this time, now that we have already closed our loop, it has automatically came out of the pen mode. Now I can create another line segment. But let's go back to this previous geometry, and it's an open one. You can see that if I hover our mouse to that anchor point, to this anchor point, if I create, okay, let's go to the pen mode. Now you can see that slash has appeared to the pen icon, which means that we can continue by drawing our previous geometry, and you can see that we are completing our geometry. And again, if you go to the first point, it means that it is asking us whether we want to close that curve or not. Okay. One of the other thing, remember that we are still in creating the straight lines. Okay, we are creating geometries or consisting of straight paths, which are actually the polygons, and we will look about the curve mode or the curvature in the next video. So another thing about the pen tool is that when we are creating the path between the anchor points, so when we click on somewhere on the screen, and while I am before clicking again somewhere else on the screen, if I press and hold shift, it will restrict me to the 45-degree angle, and it will create line with the increments of 45-degree. So you can see that from this anchor point, if I go down, and it will actually create a vertical line. Okay, either a vertical line or at a 45-degree angle. So it actually depends on how far I am from this point. If I am a little bit away, that it will actually create a straight point. But remember to press the shift key. So you can see that a straight line has been created. And if we go to the next point, which is almost almost 90 degree with respect to this anchor point, and I press shift key. So now if we create another point, you can see that it has created a 45-degree line with respect to that anchor point. Similarly, if we go a little bit to this location, it is almost 90 degree. This time it is 90 degree. So if we click somewhere while holding shift, you can see that it will create a horizontal line. And if I am down with respect to this point, it will automatically create a vertical line. And it actually goes on like that. Okay, so that was another functionality of the pen tool. So I guess that would be all for this part. In the next part, we are going to discuss about the smooth anchor points and the corner anchor points, and also how we can edit and modify the handles. So see you there.